Hey everybody, Coaching for the Soul, Thursdays at 3 has begun. Yeah, so if you're watching this live, please say hello in the first 5 minutes of the program. And if you're watching this on my YouTube channel at billhobart, please subscribe to my channel. Please like the videos. Please leave a little note, even if it's just hi Bill, because YouTube will use their algorithms to send Coaching for the Soul around the freaking planet for people who need to hear this message. Yes. Hey, Kathy. So I don't know how long I'm going to be doing this today. I came home from Denver after a week, and I have COVID. So first time ever. We're going to talk about that too. So yeah, so it's going to be an interesting, we'll see how long I can last. So, hey Pat, thank you. Hi Sherry, how's it going? Hi Nancy. Hey Karen. Yep, so we will see how it goes. I was been sick for 2 weeks, so I was sick before I went. I was sick when I was there, and I lost my taste sometime I think it was this past weekend. I didn't think anything about it because I'm not into the COVID thing, right? And been vaccinated and things, so I didn't really think of anything. So yeah. So then last night when they got home from work, I was telling him, he was asking how I was feeling and things like that. And I said, well, yeah, my ears are all plugged because they didn't pop from the plane, which is really strange. Again, COVID. So he asked me last night, I'm like, well, yeah, I can't really taste anything anymore. And I just paid attention one day, yesterday. And he says, then you got to take a test. I'm like, okay. Took the test, taken many a test, and it came up positive. So I'm like, what? Yeah, and he took his, and he doesn't have it, so that's cool. But that was all over, again, we're going to talk about that too. Okay, so give it another couple minutes. Time is at 3:02, okay. Yeah, so, yeah, it's interesting. It's an interesting thing. Yeah, it's interesting. So we'll see how long I can last on this. I did one reading today. That's about it. Yeah, have some tomorrow for element people. So we'll talk to them tomorrow. Yeah, so we'll see what happens. Yeah, whatever, right? Okay, I think we're going to start because I don't want to slow down. Because if I do, I'm afraid I'm going to... Hi, Amanda. Okay, so... hey Liz. All right, guys, I'm going to start. Okay, so first off, Spirit wants to talk about is the journey that we all take, right? I can't hear myself think, guys. It gets humming in my head. So if I'm loud or I'm not loud enough, just say something. I can bring my volume up. Hey, Laura. We all go through the death process, okay? And this last week at my sister's was like a death march for a week. And yeah. So today, Spirit gave me all kinds of messages. Of course, when I'm in the bathroom, in the shower, right? All this stuff starts to come out. And it's interesting. The energy at my sister's house with all of the sorrow and the sadness and things like that, right? Was very heavy. And I was stuck in that. And everything from the day that I left to the day I came home was negative energy. Okay? And we all go through this process of death and change, right? Spirit gave me this earlier today. Because I had the feeling that with the sickness and things like that, that it's not, again, I'm going to be fine. It's going to be good. And internally, the dialogue has been, we're just processing out the last bits of your third dimensional life. Okay? Wasn't really paying attention in Colorado because of the energy that was in the house and the energy with the funeral, and then with the burial 2 days later. He was cremated. But just, seeing people I haven't seen and meeting different people and things like that. It was pretty sorrowful energy for 6 days, basically. And I was okay, and there I wasn't really thinking about anything because I was totally disconnected from spirit. Totally disconnected from spirit. But I had this knowing inside that everything was going to be the way it was supposed to be, and that we were going to be set free. My sister and I both, okay? So this morning, in the shower like always, brush my teeth, whatever. The reason, Bill, that we have death, and if you do any tarot at all, the death card is the ending of something, okay? Is so that we can move forward, okay? So that we can leave that behind us. And it can be the death of a relationship, a death of a marriage, a death of a human, the death of a pet, the death of anything that comes to an end. And that struck me as being, and if I cry, guys, sorry, that, sorry. It's hard when we lose something, right? It's hard when most of us don't know, like my sister, who don't know what that future brings, who isn't confident in what the next chapters will be. But a person like myself, that I'm blessed with my connection to so deep to spirit, that this is the first time in my life in the last, I would say, year, ever since I threw that chair away, guys, October the 2nd, 2022, everything has changed my life completely by throwing away that chair because I was guided to, right? Had for 57 years. But understanding that the death of something brings rebirth. It may not seem it at the time. In my 9 years of transformation, I'd have never felt like that. I was like, WTF, I don't know what the hell's going on, but what? In this point in my life, with Bailey passing 2 months ago, and with Dale passing a month ago, and everything falling into place, I know that those two deaths released me. Released my sister. Released my nephew. Okay? Do they see it like that? No. Because they lost their dad and their husband, right? And I get that. I felt it too. Everybody felt it, right? Because Dale was very well known in the town that he grew up in. I mean, people from like elementary school, right, came to the funeral. But we have to try to understand, try to feel, try to really grab hold of the hope. And that's the only time that I will use hope, because you know hope is a absolute ego trigger word. Okay, believing, but hope isn't easy. Hope is, in this instance, is I feel hopeful, right? I feel hopeful that everything's going to be okay, because we don't know when we're in that transformational spot from 3D to 4D. Okay? Again, leaving what our soul has known for 12,000 years is not an easy task. Why do you think you're in pain? Why do you think you're struggling? Because you're separating yourself from 3D so that you are a lighter weight with all of your stuff being left behind, so you can ascend into 5D, 6D, 7D, 8D, and up to 12D. Okay? I feel blessed that I'm able to provide that to people, right? I feel blessed that they blessed me enough and took me on in my soul journey, right? That, Bill, you're going to quit your job at 54, and then this is what you're going to do for the rest of your life. And then it has been an absolutely ridiculous 9 years of transformation. Is it easy? No. It's probably the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. Okay? Completely changing my life, completely changing my energy level, my vibration being much higher, and occurring loss, right? Occurring loss. Loss of my money from my traditional job, which was 6 figures, right? And doing this for the message, not the money, spirit, right? Losing people, my father, then my brother, and then Bay, and then Dale, right? It's like, come on. And he said to me again this morning, Bill, it is all releasing you so we can push you into your future. Push you into your future. And he has said that to me many, many times, where Bill, as soon as Bailey passes away, you're going to be slingshotted into the future. And it's easy to believe that this much. This much, ego gets in there, right? And did I believe it? Did I know that it was true? In here I did. But up here? No. Because again, we still struggle with ego, right? I mean, mine's way back here, right? It's tucked away nice and quiet and it's asleep. But guess what? It's on trigger. It was on trigger. It was definitely on trigger in Denver, you know? So when we occur those losses, we have to allow ourselves to mourn. We have to allow ourselves to be as conscious as we can, right? Allow ourselves to melt down, right? Yes. Yeah. Allowing ourselves to melt down, allowing ourselves to be free, Spirit says. Okay? Is that going to take time for you to release it? Yes. I mean, Bailey was with me for 7 years. With Lee, 18 and a half. So he's mourning big time, right? And he's actually showing it, which is kind of cool because he's not that guy. My sister was with Dale for 30 years. I knew him for 28. Ross is 26, right? So Ross to lose that dad at 26, like we lost our mom, my sister and I, at 28 and 26. Did we know then in 1988 that we'd be these people? No, not at all. But it's about us understanding the loss, understanding that it sets you free, and understanding that it's allowing you, with their guidance, to change your life. To change your life. And before we, again, there's all kinds of signs that happen to us when we are about to lose